In the book Mind and Life, I was really interested in trying to portray or describe what I call the deep continuity of life and mind. And the idea there is really very much an outgrowth of what we were talking about before with the idea of sense making on autopoiesis. So that when you have life, life, especially understood in this autopoietic way, you already have mind or proto mind or the roots of mind. You have sense making, and then we can tell a story that that lays down a path from the early and structurally more simple biological forms of sense making to then the more complex articulated ones biologically with multicellular organisms and animals, and then social life, and then humans with language and so on. So that's really what the book Mind and Life is about. And in order to tell that story properly, we have to do it in a way where we resist what Whitehead calls the bifurcation of nature. And that's this dichotomizing between subject and object, where we treat the things that we can objectify in physical mathematical terms as what nature fundamentally is. And then we treat the things that are how nature appears when a perceiver experiences it a certain way. So color, for example, we treat that as secondary derivative or not fundamentally real. I mean, we're taught this in elementary school, high school science. We're taught that the rainbow is an illusion. What's fundamentally real are the particles of air and water, the light that is reflected. That's what's fundamentally real. Physics tells us what's fundamentally real, and the qualities that we experience are illusory. But if you're looking, was Whitehead's point. If you're looking at nature as a whole, as the cosmos, then color is just as much a part of nature as the fundamental physical particles. It's a part or aspect of nature that is there because there are perceivers, and perceivers belong to nature. Galileo tried to remove all the perceivers, and he had various reasons for thinking he had to do that. But ultimately, if you're going to give a unified account, you can't remove the perceivers. You have to as Whitehead says, you can't pick and choose. It all belongs to nature. So that means then that you need to look at nature as a system of relations without bifurcating it in terms of, here's the subject and here's the object. So in Mind and Life, I try to do that in a way that emphasizes this deep continuity of life and mind, that where you have life, you already have mind, and mind in its most articulated forms, you might say, always belongs to life. In the blind spot, the concern is really, it's related, but it's a different one. The concern is to say that that science has a blind spot where it loses sight of the need for direct experience in order even for it to get up and running and to proceed. And the bifurcation of nature is a form of the blind spot, because it basically says, oh, now we have this objectifying method, and the objectifying method tells us what's really real. And then you forget that the objectifying method actually depends for its meaning and significance on the kind of experience that underpins it. So the blind spot comes at the bifurcation of nature from that angle, and the Mind and Life concern with the continuity of life and mind comes at it from the angle of the unity of life and mind.